Hello, my name is Joseph King. I'm the Chief Technology Officer at CAS Severn. Today's topic is create Spectrum Protect container pools on Amazon S3 storage using local cache. Spectrum Protect Cloud container pools have a long history. It started back in the third quarter of 2015, where they were introduced with Swift object storage. And there's been improvements every version, which is every quarter since then, to where we are today in version 8.1.3 with tiering to the cloud. Today, what we're going to talk about on the integration with Amazon S3 started in version 7.1.7 in the third quarter of 2016. So if you're at 7.1.7 or beyond, the topic that we're going to talk about, you're going to be able to configure on your Spectrum Protect system. And there's been upgrades to the operations center in order to make this much easier to deploy. And you're going to see that just a few steps, we could be sending data to Amazon S3. So there's 3 steps in order to create an Amazon S3 Cloud Container Pool. First, we have to do some work on Amazon. Specifically, we have to create a group and a user that is going to hold the S3 storage that we're going to connect to Spectrum Protect. Then we need to create a cache directory on the Spectrum Protect server. Lastly, we need to create the Cloud Container Pool itself. So creating an Amazon user or group is very straightforward. So first we're going to create an Amazon group. We're going to give it full permissions to S3. Then we're going to create an Amazon user with programmatic access. We're going to assign the user to a group, and then we're going to download the access key and the secret key. You might have individual security requirements for your company that you should adhere to creating your S3 buckets and your users and groups. So we're going to go through some defaults here that'll work for most cases, but again, follow your organization's security practice. So starting in Amazon, open up your IAM tool and go to groups. You're going to create a new group, and for our demo, we're going to call it SP Test for the group name. Next, you're going to pick a policy. There's some default policies that are integrated into Amazon AWS. The one that we're going to use today is Amazon S3 Full Access. Lastly, we're just going to review to make sure that we have the group name set to what we like and the policy set to what we like. Then we're going to create the group. Next, we're going to create a user. So in IAM, go to the users area, add user. And we're going to use Spectrum Protect test user or SP test user here and programmatic access. Next, we're going to work with permissions. And here, because we've already created the group, we can attach that group we just created right to that user. Review that we chose the right group and create user. Lastly, because we chose programmatic access, we have to download the access key and the secret access key. The easiest way to do that is just to download the CSV file. So I downloaded that to my desktop, and I'm going to open it up here in Notepad, and I'm going to go grab the secret key ID and the secret key itself. Now we're going to switch back and talk about what we're going to do within Spectrum Protect. So we logged into Operations Center as an administrative user, and we're going to go to Storage and Storage Pools. You can see we've already have a Cloud Container Pool created here called Amazon S3 Pool, and we can already take a look that we have some savings there from deduplication and compression. And this is just a little test environment, so we're not running much data out to it. But Cloud Container Pools can be deduplicated, compressed, and encrypted, just like directory container pools can. So let's create a new one. So we're going to hit the little plus button there, give it a name, make sure that we're connecting to the correct Spectre Protect server, choose off-premise cloud from your options, cloud type, Amazon S3 API, and here's where you're going to enter the access key ID and the secret access key that you downloaded in the credentials CSV file from the previous step. And we're going to hit next. This is where we're going to choose the cache directory. The cache directory is where the data is going to be initially transferred to when it's ingested off the clients. And that cache directory, the data will be deduplicated, compressed, or encrypted, or all three, depending on your settings. And then this data transfer to cache is going to help speed the data ingest to the Spectre Protect server. So first, the data is going to come off the client and be stored on local cache. And then at the end of the backup cycle, that data then is going to be sent up to the Cloud Container Pool on Amazon S3. And how you build the local cache is highly dependent on the speed of your network to Amazon. If you have a dedicated network to Amazon using the Direct Connect, then you're going to need a high-speed pipe. So at that point, your cache also needs to be high speed. So if you have a 10 gig connection to Amazon S3, solid state drives for the cache make a lot of sense. If you have a 1 gigabyte or gigabit or slower link, then the use of SAS drives is fine. While 15,000 kRPM drives are preferred, 10,000 work just fine. And when it comes to sizing, size based off at least your max daily ingest. But an easy way of dealing with this is just take 1 to 3 days of your ingest, post deduplication and compression, and use that to size your cache. So I've already created a temporary directory that we're going to use for this demonstration, and I just put it in temp for this. You're going to have to put it in a file system that makes sense for your workload. So in temp storage pool, and then we're going to add the storage pool. So this is going to create a bucket on Amazon S3, and then it's going to create a Cloud Container Pool. So this takes a minute or two. And once it creates the bucket and it creates the pool, you should get green check boxes all around. A big one at the top says succeeded. And at that point, the Cloud Container Pool is created. In order to use the Cloud Container Pool, you're going to have to modify one of your management policies in order to use it. In this case, we already have a policy set up in standard that's going to that pool that we created earlier. Some details in creating a Cloud Container Pool. It can be done in the command line, though as you've seen, doing it in Operations Center is very easy. And the bucket names must be unique. We just recommend going with the default bucket names that are created in Operations Center. And those buckets will be maintained then by Spectre Protect. And so let's take a look at what those buckets look like on Amazon. Now we're going to log into Amazon and go into the S3 area. And as you can see, that bucket that was created by Spectre Protect is there. You should see what region it was created in, which is the default region that I'm in, and the data it was created. And Spectre Protect will take care of all the bucket management. As you can see, creating an S3 Cloud Container Pool is really easy. Just created a group and user, we created a cache directory, and then we created a Cloud Container Pool. And with that, you can send your data to the cloud. Creating Cloud Container Pools on Amazon S3 is easy. Again, my name's Joseph King, Chief Technology Officer of CAS Severn. Feel free to contact us if you have any questions or leave your comments below, and look forward to our next video in the series.